I'm fixing to take a look at our old outdoor table. This thing, I've got videos 6 years old or of us using this table. So I don't know how old it is, but it's quite old. I'm sure it's got some problems where it's ground to contact on the bottom, but top is still good solid all the way around. This part right here is where I could use a little bit of upgrade, I think, or just take it off and try to figure out some other way to mount that vise. That's my contraption for my vise. But all in all, it's not too bad. So I'm gonna flip it over. Let's take a look at the bottom first and see if we can repair it, because I'm sure we'll probably end up having to replace all of these boards right there from a betting man, and maybe even part of those. I don't know. They still seem to be good and solid all the way down, close to the ground anyway. So it may have to do with some 2x6s or something around there. But anyway, let's flip it over and see what we got. All right, I got it flipped up on its side. And yeah, I was right. This thing here is pretty bad. This one's not bad at all. But probably gonna have to replace at least one or two of these. But these still look pretty good, all the way down to the ground. Of course, they ain't been touching the ground, or not much. So we got a little bit of there, but I'm probably just gonna replace those on the outside with the 2x6s and go from there. Underneath here, it never gets wet. Good and solid steel all the way across. Good spot for yellow jackets. For yellow jackets to get in the corners. So let's get them out of here before they get started. Alright, first thing I need to do is I need to pull this thing here off. Get these screws here out. So alright, I guess let's get started. Alright, after getting it up here, it's not actually, doesn't look as bad as I thought it would look. That's, you hear that thud? That means it's rotten. That's not rotting. But right there at the end, it's rotten. Got some thudding in them. So, see, that's got a little rotting in it also. But not too bad. Not bad. Glad I put some stuff on the... So I need to replace all of these 4 on the outside. And then put some good paint on it, like is on this one, because that paint held up pretty good underneath there. So actually it may not be paint, it might be Flex Seal or something, but I can't remember now. Last time I did it. So let's get these off, or at least get one off and replace it. Get one off and replace it. Until we get all the 4 at the bottom on. And I may actually come up just a little bit. Instead of a 2x4, I'm going to put a 2x6 on it, so it'll be a little bit higher, which will make the table a little higher, because I think I cut these off a little before because of the rotting. So now, let me just start it and get one of these off and see if we can replace one at a time. Alright, I'm going to use this one because it's red on the end, and there's some red on this end, so it's this long. So I'm going to use that to mark or to figure out how long it is. Put it up next to the end, get it close. That way you ain't got to measure. Cut this one and cut one more for the other side. And that'd be the 2 side ones that go the length. Alright, so let me mark this and see if I can get something to cut it with. Alright, I got this side and that side done. Just got to get this old junk off. Screw out. But got room enough for the 2x6 right here on the outside. So get those 2 off. Cut me a couple of 2x6s to go in here. And I think we're done. Well, other than painting, I guess probably do need to put some paint on the bottom, but we'll see. Right now, got 2 sides done. Alright, got all the old boards off. New boards on. And it looks a little better. Got these off of the ground. They're still in pretty good shape, but they're off the ground now. And I added a little bit of height to the table by using these 2x6s instead of 2x4s. And so now all I need is a little bit of paint. I'm gonna go get a brush this thing off a little bit, and I'll put some paint on it. Alright, there's the bottoms fixed. Lots of a lot of paint on it. But got paint down in the slots and the holes and everywhere that I can find. So the bottom ought to last another 6 or 8 years, I guess. And so now, as soon as this gets dry, maybe tomorrow I'll flip it back over and maybe do a little something with the top. Alright. Alright. Next day, let's take a look. I think everything's dry. Got a good coat underneath on all the stuff underneath. So what I'm gonna do is flip it over. Try to keep it off of the ground itself. Just let it dry a little more, and for a little while, maybe a few days, and then we'll work on the top maybe a little bit. Check it out. At least put a coat of paint on it. So, all right, I guess that's it. Let's flip it over. All right, the top has seen its better days for sure. Looks like it's a lot of a gap, but actually the 2x4 is curved up into underneath, so it's actually not too bad a shape as far as separation. A little bit right here. I might put a little filler in right there, but I think what I'm gonna do, because I put coats and coats and coats of paint on here, so several coats, but I think I'm gonna knock some of it down with the sander and put another coat of paint on it. And I think we'll probably be okay for a while, for another few years. All right, let me see if I can help that a little bit. may have reached the end of my sanding. Cause there's all I got. I don't know if I have another wheel or not, but I've been to go look. But if not, I'll do a little hand sanding if I need to. All right, let me go look. All right, I didn't have any more of these little barrel sandpapers, so I had to break out the Ryobi belt sander. Let's see how it does. This one was doing pretty good, but anyway, let's try with the Ryobi and see if we can get a little more of this knocked off. Not doing a whole lot of good with just sandpaper. Let me get some wire brush and get some of this junk off here, and then maybe that'll do a little better. I believe a wire brush would do better to get all the older paint and junk off anyway. All right, I think it's about ready for a coat of paint. I'll let that Texas sun dry it out a little more because it's been sitting on the ground all night. So let it dry out and then we'll put a coat of paint on it. All right, I got some carburetor cleaner and cleaned off that sticky stuff. Now it's no longer sticky. And there was a sticky place right here in the center, like right here. It's no longer sticky. So I got carburetor cleaner and sprayed it good, wiped it good, and ain't no sticky places. And now I'm gonna let it dry out in this Texas sun for a little bit, and then put a coat of paint on it. Alright, got a coat on the top. Just got to get the sides done. And I was just informed that it's pink now. Being colorblind, I can't really tell. It's hard. I think I got some streaks in the center, but it's hard for me to tell the difference between the dark and the lighter. I can tell that's red, you know, but I can't. That kind of looks like a light blue looking.
What color does it look like?
It looks kind of like a blue.
No, it's
blue,
pink.
Blue.
It's pink.
Between a blue and a gray or something. I don't know.
No, it's pink.
But she tells me it's pink. So anyway, got a coat on the top, and fitting to put another one on after this one dries. And let me go ahead and do the sides too while I'm doing it. All right, we're all finished with the table. Now maybe it'll last a few more years. I did over here shoot a screw to close that big gap up, and it is a pink top table now. My granddaughter let me know that was pink.
No, it's pink.
Of course, it looks kind of like a light blue to me, but anyway, I guess that's all for now. It should last for a few more years. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we're going to give it a good shot at lasting a little longer, a few more years. All right, I guess that's it for now. Y'all take care and stay safe.